Okay, I'll let that cool off some more over there. It's been a few minutes. I'm going to change out our shim here. This should have been 15 thou. Yeah, it's showing about 17. So much for accuracy, huh? That's my 0. 0, 0. There, about 16. So we're going to knock that down to 14. But put 2 7 thou shims in there. Assuming the 7s measure 7. This one's a 15. So 15s you can't get no more, but I got that many left. And no, you can't have them. For my jobs. Okay, we're going to pull out our 7 over here. I think there's only, there's a couple in there, I think. We'll find out in a minute here. Yep, there's a couple in there. Okay, we'll put 2 of those together. We're measuring 15. So we're going to gain a thou, thou and a half. That's all I was expecting to gain. So I'm going to put these on the circuit breaker shaft here first. Okay, just slide all down like that. Now before that one goes down, I probably should put some lubricant on it. Get that out of the way. Just get a little Torque oil right here. A little bit of that on the up there in the washer. I don't like things going in dry. A little bit right on there is all you gotta do. It'll lube itself as it goes down. It's going down. Cam's warming up a little bit. Sitting on top of that gear. Still 130 or 40 degrees, so it's alright. Okay, so we got our circuit breaker gear here. I'm going to put that on next. Put more oil on that. Lint left over from the rag. We'll leave that a little bit before it goes down. Now this has a timing mark on it. We need to time it. So where's the mark at? Way over here. Oop. Okay, that's on the mark. A little bit over here in our idler gear. Be this big one over here. Should put on the right direction. Should be flush across the teeth, which this one is. Oil on that. A little more oil on this one. Until you put another part on it, you oil it. Okay. We got our snap rings here. Which one was the one we had on this side? This one here is a tight one. Sharpen my finger. Push it all the way in. Make sure it's on there. Get some free play that way. When you put the cover on, it changes though. So just because you got free play right now does not mean you have free play after it's assembled. You can remember that. Okay, this clip here looks like it needs to be squeezed a little bit. My squeezing tool here. Bring it down a little bit. You see what's bending right here. If you want to bend a little bit different area, you change the location you're bending at. See, now it bends lower. Don't want to bend too far. I'll get a little tension on it, not a ton. The key is when you're done, you want to make sure there's tension on it when you rotate it, which it does have. You see the gap between the edge right there, but you want to make sure there's tension on it. So when you go to move it, it's not just spinning freely. See, I got tension on it. So you have to move it to make it move. Same on that one. That's what you're looking for. Okay. So we've got a bunch of free play, which is fine. The teeth are flat across here, which is what you want. We're timed right here, like you want it to be. Now we gotta put the other one in there to make sure it's timed also. We don't have any lifters to go with this. And it's open on top to hold all the dirt that you put in there. So you kind of don't want to lube it, but you do want to lube it so it doesn't get rusty if nothing else. So we're going to go lube it anyway. I don't like stuff putting it in dry anyway. So you just put a little lube on each top of each lobe. Easiest where I leave it out, but on this case we're going to go ahead and run it all the way around. Nothing else will keep the lobes from rusting. Alright, it's all lubed up there. Now I want to put lube on the teeth here now too. So usually what I do on that, I just take and run it around the outside of the gear like this. That's good enough. You just figure out where the marks are at and slip it in the hole. I have no idea where the mark is. So. Let's see, one mark's there, the other one's over here. So we're out of phase about quarter of a turn. 90 degrees out. Pick it up, rotate it around. Come on. 1, 2 teeth. Drop back in. Why aren't you dropping back in? Jammed into something. I don't know what that was all about. Where's my mark at? Right there is where I want to go. Go out of the way so you can see it. We got a breather valve right here. It needs to be lubed up also. So that one we just stick a hole in there like that. Easy enough for that. Doesn't hurt to put a little extra right here just to make sure you got something on all the surfaces. Can't over oil it, but you can under oil it. And the teeth will be lubed by that gear when it rotates, so that's no big deal. And that has a built-in thrust wash, you have to worry about it. Okay, so now you make sure all your marks are lined up. So that one there lines up with that one. That dot lines up with that mark right there. And then this one over here is lined up with that one. These are the same height basically here, so it should fit together. This one's actually coming a little bit higher now than it was before. I'm not sure why. It's kind of weird how that happened, but I'm not sure what that's all about. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a little nick in there to make sure. So maybe the thrust washer wasn't quite all the way in over that side. And just make sure that washer is in there right now. It is. Make sure it didn't fall out. Maybe a lot more gap than that if it did. Okay. I'm going to lightly tap that down slightly further. That's a little bit harder to do. Get off the end of the pipe there. Okay. Okay, now we're back to being flush again, like it's supposed to be. Make sure our marks are still all lined up. Boom, 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 boom. They're all good. Everything looks good right now. Okay. A little lubricant on all these parts here. We're not going to do 100% together right now, but we're 99% there. We're just not going to put the sealer on, but we're doing everything else. Okay, everything's all lubed up on the cam cover also. You got to put a gasket in there too, don't forget to do that. Now there should be a screen and some stuff that goes in there, which I'm not sure if we have or not. It doesn't really matter if it's in there or not. It's just, it's stuff. If you have it, you use it. If you don't have it, you don't use it. One of those deals. There's great theories in day why you need all that junk. Harley eliminated it later on, so we'll have to see if the customer wants to use that stuff or not. I'll call up and see, hey, you got your breather stuff with you? Because I don't see it here. And here's a screen. It goes right there. There should be a big steel retainer that goes in and hold that, so it's kind of weird that you got one piece and not the other piece. I have to call them up and say, hey, need some more parts. And I already know what the answer is going to be. I got everything. Okay. Gasket, don't forget gasket. Same gasket we've been using the whole time. Doing it nice and easy. That's the easiest slid down yet. Tells me the gear teeth aren't binding like they were before. When the teeth are binding, that's spreading the gear apart, makes the bushings hard to go on. Just like it was really hard to get it to go over that lapping compound because it was up higher than it's supposed to be. Okay, I'm gonna put the screws in here again. Do you, and you. One more from the corner over there. So give me a good area all the way around the cam. Give me a nice even tension. Cover one all the way down with no extra compression. Didn't have to force anything down, that's good. It's right there already. Usually when you're binding, it covers up in the air a little bit. You gotta force it down. It's usually not a good sign. Okay, I'm going to tighten this down. This isn't 100% torque, but it's pretty tight. Okay, sheet down. Hear the crank bouncing back and forth, that's good. No high spots that way. Nice even drag, no extra high spots anywhere. See, gravity's pretty much doing this for me. That's what you're looking for. If the flywheel's can return it, you don't have much drag. Okay. Now I can go in here and see what we got for movement here. Let's get that low before I can get to it. Move it pretty easily. Move it there also. Give it some more going on that way. Okay. Check that spot at ankle. Go on some more this way. That's good. That way. Oop, right there next. Yep. Slides easily. Check it every direction. So you got 2 revolutions to go all the way around. I think that's the tightest spot right there. And back to where we started. Alright, I'm happy with that. It's rotating freely. Now the circuit breaker gear was down here. Hear it? There's a little bit in there, not much, but it's moving. Perfect. The breather valve is the one that's in the back on this side. Just rotate it around until you get to where the holes are. See the holes down in there on the breather? I don't know if you can see that, but I can see it. Take the long screwdriver, just poke it in there and slide it back and forth. Can't tell with one hand what's going on. Crank kept turning too as I trying to do it. There you go. Hear it? It's got a lot in there, 20 thou at least. And the last one is the circuit breaker, the generator drive here, idler. It's got a lot of in play. Okay, so all our in plays are good. The one thing I forgot to do is I forgot to put lubricant on the distributor drive gear down there. So I'll put a bit of oil on there on my finger. You don't want all the gear teeth to be dry. And I didn't put anything on the circuit breaker gear either, which I probably should have. Because there's no oil on that either. It's dry. Who's a dumbass that didn't put any oil on anything? Oh well. It's hard to get good help these days, that's all I can say. Alright, let's see if we get some oil in there. It allows you to do that before you put it together and after. Drip, drip, drip. Whoa, see, it's going now. She's lube now. Okay. Wasting a bunch of oil there. Oh yeah, it's a lake on the side down there. It's lube now though. A little quieter now too. Teeth aren't dry in there. So now she's lubed in there. See now all those teeth have red on them like they're supposed to now. So everything goes around nice and freely. Just what you want to see. And that's what we're looking for right there. So nice and free coming up. Free coming up. I'm not helping it any. And that's with that thick ass lube in there. It's cold, 60 degrees over there, so that 100 weight oil is thick. All right, so that's what we want to see. Okay, so we're pretty well done with this, except for just gooping up the gasket and putting it together for real. I'm going to see if the customer has the missing piece to hold that in, and if it is, I'll put that in there. What this does is it restricts the flow through the breather system, so it gives a chance for the oil to separate from the airstream so it doesn't blow it over here into your breather over here. So newer bikes don't use it, they got a better system, but it's the same breathing system. So usually if you're going to dump oil out the breather, this is not going to stop it. It'll help it slow it down a little bit, but it ain't going to stop it. So if you got bad rings making blow by, it's still going to blow oil out the damn motor. But anyway, we'll see if we can come up with a piece that's missing, and we'll put it in there. So we'll probably do another video when I do all that for real, but for now we're pretty much done. I'm going to see if we can bring over the lifter blocks, so at least I can seal this hole up a little bit. But I guess it doesn't really matter because this one's wide open too. But anyway, that's pretty much it for the knuckle motor for now, but I still got to do the gasket, so we're not quite done with it yet, but pretty much we're there now. Alright, that's it for now.